You're welcome to another segment of our music lessons. And today we'll be looking at dotted notes. Dotted notes. There are two keywords, dotted and notes. Now let's go ahead. What is dotted notes? Or what are dotted notes? Dotted notes are notes with dots. That is the simple definition. It could be seen as notes that have dots placed after them. When I talk about notes, I believe you know what notes are. We have different kinds of musical notes. From the brief, we have semi-brief, we have minim, we have crotchets, we have quiver, we have semi-quiver, demi-semi-quiver, and hemi-demi-semi-quiver as displayed on the screen. These are called the musical notes. Now, when a dot is placed after a note, it makes that note carry the name of the dot. Take for instance, you can see on the screen, this is a semi-brief with a dot beside it. Now, instead of calling it a semi-brief or a dot, you call it dotted semi-brief. Dotted semi-brief. We also have the dotted minim. We have, of course, dotted crotchet. We have dotted quiver, and so on and so forth. Now, the question is, what role does this dot play in a musical note? By rephrasing it, we could say, what is the effect of dots on a note? Now, listen very carefully to me. When a dot is placed after a note, it increases the value of the note by half of its original beats. I come again. When a dot is placed after a note, it increases the value of that note by half of its original beats. It means that if we have a semi-brief, now a dotted semi-brief. A semi-brief, like you know, has 4 beats. A semi-brief, like you know, has 4 beats. Now, there is this dot beside it. The dot is half, or the dot increases the value of these 4 beats by half. Now, half of 4 gives you 2. When you add the 2 to the 4, it gives you 6 beats. Now it means that a dotted semi-brief has 6 beats. I explain it again. When you bring a semi-brief having 4 beats, and then there is a dot beside it, the dot is going to serve as half of the original beats of the semi-brief, which is 4. So half of 4 is 2. When you add the 2 to the 4, it gives you 6. When you add the 2, which is the dot, to the 4, which is the semi-brief beat, it gives you 6. I hope you have gotten that. So that is the effect of dots. Like I said earlier, dotted notes are notes with dots, or they could be seen as notes that have dots placed after them. Now, there is another one, which is the double dots. Double dots. Now, this is the example of a double dot. You have the notes, the original notes, and then you have the first dot, and you have the second dot. Don't forget, I told you earlier that the dot increases the sound of the notes by half of its original value. That is the effect of the dot. Now, when you have the second dot also increases the sound of the first dot by half. It means, since the original note, which is semi-brief, is 4 beats, you have the first dot, which is 2 beats. The the second dot will be half of the 2, and half of 2 is 1. So in all, when you have a double dotted semibreve, the overall calculation will give you 7. The overall calculation will give you what? 7. Now look at this note showing on the screen for clearer understanding. The musical notes, like we studied in our first lesson, we use them to represent sounds. When you see a semibreve with 4 beats, it means that the notes you're sounding at the moment should extend as long as 4 beats. But when it is a dotted semibreve, it means that the notes you are ending with should last as long as 6 beats. Let's demonstrate this. Listen to this piece as I'm going to end this song with a dotted semibreve. That is 6 beats. Listen. It's like a symphony. Just keep listening. Very soon you start to figure out your part. Everyone plays a piece, and there are melodies. Each one of us. Oh, it's glorious. It's like a symphony. Just keep listening. And very soon you start to figure out your part. Everyone plays a piece, and there are melodies. Each one of us. Oh, it's glorious. Okay, so that is all we have for today. Don't forget, dotted notes are notes with dots. And the effect of dot is that it increases the sound or the value of the original notes by half. Thank you very much. See you some other time. Bye.